Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. It is Monday, May 21st, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Late Friday afternoon, the Capitol broke a very weird story, and we'll give credit to Phil Davis here for breaking this, but apparently the Anne Arundel County Sheriff, Ron Bateman, who is up for re-election, has been running a 4-month investigation on Lawrence Scott, who is an assistant to State's Attorney Wes Adams. Now, Scott has been a polarizing figure. He was involved in the Adams campaign as well as the Steve Shue campaign, and he was likely behind the anti-Gavin mailers that we saw come out from Doug Burkhart that essentially torpedoed Mike Pantelidis' campaign. Shortly after being elected, Scott was hired by Adams as an assistant state's attorney in the office. He only worked part-time, and it's always been questionable exactly what he does. Just recently, he left the office to concentrate on the campaign, but the sheriff's investigation involved them watching for his car, which doesn't seem like too much of an investigation to me. But they did report that he did not see his car 53 out of the 78 days that he was supposed to be in the office. However, he does have an office right down the road where he often parks there as well, and they never checked that. He is a part-time employee. He is able to make his own hours, and I'm not quite sure what the sheriff's office was looking to gain or who authorized them to do it. And as Phil Davis from the Capitol said, do they even have the jurisdiction to do it? Very strange. As we move out of the damp and soggy weather, and more will be coming on that from George Young with DMV Weather, the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation has said that you may be entitled to a reduction of your assessment and subsequently your income tax if your property has suffered damage as a result of the severe weather that we've had over the last 10 days. If you go over to eyeonannapolis.net, we do have an article up there about this, and at the bottom of that, there is a PDF application that you can fill out and send into your local SDAT assessment office and see if maybe you can get your assessment and hopefully your taxes reduced a little bit. In sporting news, Justify won the Preakness. Well, at least that's what we think, and that's what we were told. It was really hard to see with the thick fog that enveloped the track, but yes, he did win. And they say this was his most difficult race of his career, and now he has the chance at the Belmont Stakes in New York on June 9th. Obviously, if he wins that, he will be a Triple Crown winner, and that will be the second within 4 years. Speaking of the Preakness, the owners of Pimlico Racecourse, the Stronach Group, held a press conference just before the race on Saturday, and Tim Ritvo, the chief operating officer, said that there are no plans on the table to invest any more money into the 148-year-old Pimlico Racecourse facility. The Stronach Group does own Pimlico as well as Laurel Park, and there has been speculation that the Preakness may move to Laurel Park. In the press conference, Ritvo said, "We've made it pretty clear that we're not going to put any funds into it. Number one, we don't have any funds to put into it. We are a privately owned company that has no debt, and we're in good shape. But at the same time, we're not looking to pour hundreds of millions of dollars into a facility here and continue to renovate Laurel." He did offer a caveat, though. He said, "If the state," and obviously I say city and state because I don't believe the city can do it either, "if the state believed that there was a commitment that needed to be done through the Maryland Stadium Authority or something, obviously that's something we would consider. We want to make sure we're not holding a gun to anyone's head or looking for a handout." Pimlico had a record crowd last year of 140,000. I believe it was slightly less this year. And Ritvo said that a reimagined Laurel with the Preakness would only have a capacity of about 75 to 80,000 people. So there you go. It looks like the Preakness next year may be moving to Laurel Park right here on the border of Anne Arundel and Howard County, unless the Stadium Authority throws tons and tons of money at them. In more sports news, taking the lead of the Baltimore Orioles, the Ravens have slashed the prices on a lot of their concessions. They call it the flock-friendly fare, and it's actually probably more of the, okay, we've sucked over the last couple years and our attendance is down fare. but they have slashed the prices of 21 of the most popular menu items, an average of 33%. The most popular items are soft pretzels and French fries, and they're going to get the biggest reductions. 13 items will be offered for $5 or less, and no single item will be more than $9. Pack it up as a combo, and it really sort of starts to shine. Last year, a stadium burger, fries, and a bottle of water used to run you $19.25, hence the reason I don't go to too many NFL games. And next season, you'll only have to pay $12. And finally, it is commissioning week. This is the week that the Naval Academy graduates, and Eye on Annapolis will be all over it, as we always are. We do plan to be at the Herndon Climb a little bit later on today. The Blue Angels, both the practice and the show on Tuesday and Wednesday. The color parade on Thursday, and of course the graduation on Friday with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, as well. Follow us on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis, Facebook at All Annapolis, and of course our website, eyeonannapolis.net. Coupled up with Memorial Day weekend, we can expect an awful lot of traffic. The word I offer you is patience, but I have Charlie Gischler from the Maryland State Highway Administration right here with some more tips for you.
It's that time of year again, the U.S. Naval Academy Commencement and Commissioning Week. The Annapolis area of Anne Arundel County will be a flurry of activity as the U.S. Naval Academy prepares for the week. The commencement is happening actually on Friday, May 25th. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration's chart crews will be out in the area to help the traffic move efficiently for the event. Additionally, MDOT is going to be assisting the festivities by closing the Naval Academy Bridge, that's Maryland 450 over the Severn River, during the Blue Angels practice runs. On Tuesday, the bridge closure will last between 10:45 a.m. and 4 p.m., and Wednesday afternoon between 1:45 p.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists will be using US 50, the Severn River Bridge. Additionally, crews are going to be blocking the right lane on eastbound US 50 prior to West Street, Maryland 450 on Tuesday and Wednesday mid-afternoon, which will allow traffic to depart Annapolis after the air shows. Now, there's about 140,000 motorists that will be traveling on US 50 between I-97 and the Severn River Bridge daily. On April 30th, MDOT opened a fourth lane on eastbound US 50 on the Severn River Bridge, and this will help ease congestion.
I'm Sean ONeill, your local RBC Wealth Management Advisor. When you choose to work with me, you'll have access to a worldwide network of financial products and services only available from a leading global institution. RBC's international reputation for physical strength and stability, world-class capabilities, and corporate values is unique in the financial services industry. I also recognize the importance of reinvesting in the communities in which we live and work, and I'm committed to serving my clients by building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and confidence. I look forward to helping you with your wealth management needs. Call me, Sean ONeill, today at 410-573-6723 for a complimentary consultation.
RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, May 21st. It's Naval Academy Commissioning Week this week in Annapolis, and while the overall outlook for the week is for a big improvement on the whole over last week, it won't be a totally clear stretch by any measure. Look for temps today in the upper 70s or lower 80s, with a chance of afternoon showers or thunderstorms, which means the Herndon Monument climb this afternoon will most likely be dry, but we'll need to keep an eye on the radar just in case. Then we'll likely take a step backward Tuesday with clouds and showers as a cold front approaches from the west, which could have an obvious impact on Blue Angel practice Tuesday afternoon. But then Wednesday looks like it should be good to go, with clearing skies and temps near 80 for the actual Blue Angel show, followed by great weather Thursday and Friday for the color parade and graduation ceremonies at the stadium, respectively. So on the whole, the week looks great, but let's keep an eye on the radar and stay tuned for updates as they happen. Okay, that's it for us today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Enjoy the big week ahead in the Annapolis area for the Naval Academy, and be sure to follow DMV Weather every day on our website at dmvweather.com and on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on our app, which you can download for free by searching for DC MDVA Weather in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. And remember one thing, as skies go back and forth a bit this week, and schedules get a little crazy with all of the people and festivities, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Hey, it's May, and it's Maryland Podcast Month. No, Hallmark didn't invent this puppy, so there's no need to get a card, but do yourself a favor and give a listen to some of the other Maryland-based podcasts. Our right-wing friends, hey, they called us liberals first, at Red Maryland have put together a website called MarylandPodcastMonth.com, and it lists all of the podcasts that are participating this month. Throughout the month of May, many of us will be showing up on other Maryland podcasts as guests, and we'll have all sorts of antics throughout the month. Among the participants are Red Maryland and I on Annapolis, of course, and then others to cover every topic you can possibly think of. Podcasts such as Quality Time, The Maryland Crabs, A History of Maryland, The Conduit Street Podcast, Laugh Finder, The Extra Point Show, Society Fringe Players, The Mark and Lowell Show, The Engine Mom Podcast, and quite a few more. So go to MarylandPodcastMonth.com, check it out, get familiar with a new podcast near you, and of course, please let all your friends and associates know as well. And we will see you all May during Maryland Podcast Month.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.